Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Zinga podcast. Our topic for this week is Brotherhood, and our guest for this week is an engineer and a product manager who did so much in Brotherhood. Welcome, Ralu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Arranger. Thanks for having me.
How you doing? How the family?
Family is good. We did paying fuel money, fuel prices.
I heard about everything that's going crazy right now.
Oh yeah, but you get past it. It's no worse.
But hopefully, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully.
Yes, that's what I'm more focused at the light at the end of the tunnel than the darkness I'm experiencing now.
Yeah. But let's switch to podcast now. Is this your first time on the podcast?
Yes, this is my first podcast. This is my very first one.
Are you excited?
hopefully I can pass knowledge. I don't know. I want to see how it is first. So hopefully after this one we'll have a couple more. But
that's fine. That's fine. But you sounded so passionate about Brotherhood. So why do you have so much passion about Brotherhood, and what does Brotherhood actually mean to you? Okay,
first let me start from what Brotherhood means. Brotherhood for me is it's a concept of closeness, loyalty, and support amongst a group of guys that have been joined by either blood or association or just basic friendship, that they come together to help themselves and create interesting memories, to last a lifetime. That's what Brotherhood is to me.
Oh, okay. So, like I said,
then why I'm so passionate about it is across different times in my life, I continue experiencing it either from blood, my siblings, to my friends, to my frat brothers. I have gone through different kinds of it, and I see the importance of it in the life of a young guy.
Yeah. So when you say this Brotherhood, so that means they don't have to be related by blood. It could be, like you said, it could be just brothers. It could be just friends, and not just brothers who are related by blood.
Yes, it could be just friends. It could be friends joined by just being friends from meeting in school, or friends that join the same organization or the same group or the same club. So it could be your sibling, your brother, your blood brother. It could be your cousin who you've created a certain bond and relationship with. So it's not limited to just blood.
Oh, okay, fine. So, but you've mentioned that Brotherhood is so important in the life of a young guy.
Yes.
Why do you think so? And what impact do you think Brotherhood has made in your own life?
See, for young guys, it provides a core level of emotional support. It gives you the chance of having, especially if you join like a group where they've had a life before you joined. So it gives you the chance of having role models that actually have the same thought process as you, or actually grew up with the same background as you. It also helps you in networking. It helps for personal growth. Being part of a brotherhood also helps you build your social skills, how to manage time, how to manage people, how to resolve issues amongst yourselves, how to lead, how to organize events. Being in a part of a brotherhood cuts across many things. And for me, it has done each of everything I've said for me. I have people that I can talk to at every point in time. I have people that my wife said something that I have not introduced a friend to her that I've not known for 10 years at least.
Yeah.
All my friends are decade-old friends, and a lot of my friends are my frat brothers from school. So I have people that I can talk to and can talk to me and let me know that this is right, this is wrong, this was people that can be very real with you and you can be real with. It does a lot in the life of a guy to know you have those kind of relationships and people to speak with.
Yeah, that's interesting. Back in secondary school, if I'm being real here, I really did not like anything about clique. I know brotherhood, like you have like a group of boys, and this is my reason. I do not like clique mentality. So the reason I'm saying this is maybe now people are older and there is different. But at least what I saw, younger people had this thing like they conform to the behaviors of a certain group or clique to make sure they are accepted. I didn't like that. I like to think for myself. So, but you have mentioned that this is actually different for you. Like most of the people you've met, most of the brothers you have now are people you've known for more than 10 years, which means they impacted your life positively. Yeah. So,
Yes.
how do you think, like, if there's a young chap out there who is in secondary school, like we were, for example, and who is trying as much as possible to form his own brotherhood, a group of brothers or friends, what do you think they need to do to make sure they find the right fit and the right group to actually link up with? What do you think they should do?
First, joining a brotherhood, joining a group of friends that do not have your same mentality or your same mindset, and trying to conform with what they believe and how they act would throw any young boy out, off balance.
Yeah.
For me, to get a group of friends, they must have things in common with you. You guys should share interests, goals, ideas, ideologies. And you see, in secondary school, you start building stuff like that. You start seeing people that either live in your area or go to the same church with you or go to the same lesson with you or like the same sports. So, all those things come together to form
Your core
interests.
values. Yeah.
It comes together to form what you guys are interested in.
Yeah.
Then you build on the basic things you're interested in. From being interested in sports, you can start being interested in sports business when you grow. From being interested in, even if it's church, you can start being interested in church events. So from being interested in parties, you can start being interested in creating your own clubs or your own entertainment industry, companies in the future. So, very little things from when you grow up come together to cumulate to what you do after school.
Yeah.
And that, and when you do it with the same set of people or the same people of like minds from a young age, you don't get to an older age and spiral off. Your mindset is strong because you have people that think along the same way with you, that you've always had conversations with.
Yeah, that's really important. You mentioned core values, and that's really important because, for example, if somebody is used to a certain way of life, maybe the way he or she was raised is different from the way you were raised. Sometimes it's hard for you guys to actually. There will be clashes in the friendship, and
always.
You guys don't think alike. You will be coming off positively to impact the person's life, and the person is seeing from a very negative angle, and you're wondering why can't this person see that it's actually for the betterment of him and the group at large. You're right about that.
Yeah.
So, you want to say something?
No. There's something.
Yeah. So now, how do you think your brothers will describe you? For example, I've known you since I think I met you when you were like 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yes.
And I would describe you as someone I found smart, at least from a young age, smart, respectful, and cool to have around. That's how I'm. But you see, I'm not in your brotherhood, to be fair. Yeah, I know we're our own kind of brother, but you have your own, like you said, people that are in your frat. How do you think those your brothers will actually describe you? What do you think they will say?
How they will describe me as funny.
Okay.
Traditional.
Traditional in what way?
In my basic thinking and behavior. I like tradition. I like things that have been set in stone for a while. I like things that have history.
Yeah.
Yes. Funny fun. I like to have a good laugh. A bit strict. They might say I'm a bit strict, but and what else would I say? Funny, fun, strict, and traditional. That basically this will describe, because I think that would be how they should see me.
Okay, interesting. Now, because that leads me to my name, because I was about to mention something about humor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Since most of them will see you as funny, I've seen a lot of people complain about negative humor, because men can actually give it to their friends when it comes to negative humor. And I've seen a lot of people complain about this negative humor being the butt of jokes in friend groups. How do you think this actually impacts a brotherhood? Does it make them tougher, like to go a thicker skin? But since some people are complaining about it, what do you think about that?
You see, and that is I like this question you asked, because it's important that young guys go through this kind of situations at a young age. So when they get older, they know how to take things to heart. They know how to manage their emotions.
Yeah,
it's being amongst brothers, amongst guys that like throwing jabs and like being humorous amongst themselves. You must grow a thick skin.
Yeah.
And that thick skin, if you don't grow it, you're going to mismanage your emotions. And if you don't go through that kind of scenario at a young age, if you get to an older place where your emotions must be better managed, if it will be easy for someone to make slight comments to you in public, and you go off balance, and you lose your cool. But because for someone like me, that's how we grew up. There are 10, 15 guys sitting around, and they are throwing jabs at you. Some days it hits, some days it doesn't hit. But you do it 5, 6, 7, 20 times, 100 times across your university days. When you come out, it's easy for you to manage. It's easy for you to see who is just having too much alcohol. So you don't, you've seen those kind of scenarios. So brotherhood helps you to build yourself around such scenarios, and knowing how to manage yourself.
So you believe the negative jabs actually help you to develop thick skin?
Yes. Oh yes. You must. It does. And you must take it as jabs.
Yeah.
If you take it more than jabs, it will make you more upset, or it will not do the job it should do for you. And because you got it from brothers, it's your guys.
Yeah.
The worst is they do it today. Tomorrow you guys are drinking. Next tomorrow you guys are discussing life. So So it is just jabs.
Okay. So, but when the person takes it personal, for example, and do you recommend, like, a young boy out there to actually sit down with their friends and tell them he doesn't appreciate it, and then they can actually drink it off? What do you recommend they do?
One of the most important things about brotherhood is honesty. The ability to say your mind, how you feel at every point, and the ability for the next person to understand it and take it, and apply it to how to manage, how to handle you. If the person doesn't apply it, that means the person doesn't really care about you, how you feel. That affects the term brotherhood. Yeah. So you must be able to say, bro, this these three are okay, but this one shouldn't happen again. Okay. And the next person should be able to say, oh, and the guys around should be able to tell the next person, oh, guy, this shouldn't happen. He doesn't like this. So next time the conversation is different.
Yeah. But because I've seen a lot of people who get so mad when they become the butt of jokes. Yeah. But I get it. Like, if you are, let's take for example, I'm not condoning what he did, but Will Smith, we all know Will Smith as a very funny guy. Seeing him lash out on the big stage like that was surprising to everyone. Nobody expected that. But there's something I keep telling myself. I think sometimes it's good to let your emotions out once and for all, because I think because he's been getting a lot of jabs, the same jabs over and over, I think it got to him this time around. So do you think being the butt of jokes all the time, like if someone is being the butt of jokes all the time, do you think this actually goes down to hierarchy or power chain, like where the particular guy sits in the brotherhood when it comes to hierarchy and power chain? Do you think those at the foot of the chain are more roasted than people who are at the top? What do you think?
Oh, no, at all. Hierarchy in brotherhood, for me, comes only when official duties are being carried out.
Yeah.
That is when hierarchy is respected. The minute it comes to the basic conversations and cracking of jokes and throwing jabs, it's not a hierarchy thing. Because I've been in situations where one of the senior members takes to jokes too much, or no, jokes affect him too much. So people keep throwing those jabs at him, and it's not as if he's a junior member. He's not, he doesn't have funds, or he's not old in the club. Everybody just throws it at him because they can
see it affects him.
He hits. Yeah, they see it affects him, and it doesn't affect him in a way that he says don't do it again. It affects him in the way that
he lashes out.
Yes, he just lashes out, and everybody just goes back to. So I don't think it's a hierarchical situation, a hierarchical thing.
Yeah. Okay. Now that you mentioned that, because growing up myself, I realized, for example, like we went to the same secondary school, and Federal teaches you a lot. You know, they will take care of Federal. They will say a lot of nonsense to you. So at the point, I realized if you get angry, people will keep doing that thing. Also because you've shown them that it gets to you. For example, if I come now and tell you, Ralu, this motherfucker, I'll just say something, and I notice you give an emotional reaction, I'll keep saying that thing just to piss you off.
True.
Yeah. But that's where I learned. Sometimes you learn how to not to give a fuck. To be honest, you
just learn how to just throw it under the bus and move on. Just anything, sweep it under the rug and just get on with it.
Yeah, but still, there are certain people you still meet. No matter how much you try, as much as possible to push away the jabs, they will keep coming at you. So, what do you do in that context? Even though you try as much as possible,
all this is why I'm I like people being amongst guys. I like guys that grew up around guys, because you see, when you see someone that keeps throwing jabs at you, if you've gone through that process, you must learn how to both take jabs and throw jabs.
Yeah.
So if he keeps throwing it at you, the next thing is to throw it back at him, and because for you have grown a thick skin that it doesn't affect you. The worst that can happen is that everybody just talks and throws and goes to rest. But if you just assimilate it, just keep taking it in, one day you will get quite tired of it. Yeah. But if once in a while you throw it back at the person, he sees that, this person would one day tell me one thing that will touch me. It's that thing about being able to throw jabs. If someone keeps doing it, he learns what to say and when to say it. Yeah. But even if you throw jabs at someone that has gone through it for a long time, it won't. No matter how much you come back, it won't stick.
Yeah. No. See what I mean? Yeah. My thing is, sometimes it can come over the top to people, but I wouldn't say I really don't give a shit. So, but if somebody is coming at you and the person can see you don't give a shit, we're human beings, we do that because the person can feel like it's not getting to you. They keep doing it just to get under your skin. I've seen people tell me they know because things don't get to me. They try to do it harder over the top. Yeah, they now try as much as possible to go over the top. Yeah, I get the part where, and that's what I tell young guys. If somebody's roasting you, roast them back. Like that's why sometimes if I tweet and say something about do it back, I think he has this negative connotation. People think I'm fighting with nah. But if somebody is doing something to you, trust me. If you do it back to the person, they won't do it again. Trust
Yes.
me. They won't do.
That's true.
They will be not scared of you, but they know what you are capable of doing it back. But if
they know that someday you're going to say something. Someday it's going to hit.
Exactly, but if they think you are that quiet, meek person, you take everything on the chin, they'll keep doing it. You see what I mean? They will see you as maybe that weak person on the playground that they can actually just bully. But if they see that, I can't joke with Ralu today or tomorrow. If you see what Ralu tell me, this guy get bad mouth. They will say it again. You see what I mean? But in the context where what I'm trying to say is in the context where some people go over and over and over the top. You know, sometimes some people come at you in form of joke just to piss you off. They say it's joke, but you can tell it's not jokes anymore. But they go over the top. In the case of a brotherhood, how do you guys handle it? Do you call the person to order, or other people watching can actually tell the person, say, hey, you are not going over the top? How do you guys handle it?
In a brotherhood, there's something we say that before you bring the matter to everybody, you must address it with the person
personally.
Yes. So first, you would address the person and let the person know that this is, if the person doesn't take correction, it's next to happen. The next correction he's going to take is from your brothers that are mostly around both of you.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't take correction, then it's going to be brought up to be a serious conversation. But it barely ever gets to that level.
Yeah.
It's always that after I have a conversation with you, and maybe one or two people say, "Oh, bro, don't do this," everything dies down. Yeah. So it gets to a point where you have to address it and call a spade and say, let this stop, or let's not do this again.
Okay, so the normal thing is first of all try to address it personally before you take it to other people.
Yes.
Okay.
Always.
In such a way, but you there's something you mentioned earlier on that I like. I like having guys that actually that grew up around guys. You have a point. This is not me being condescending or trying to stereotype people, but sometimes having guys who grew up around guys is better than having guys who grew up a lot of women. The ladies tend to be more reactive. They don't take things on the chin, and sometimes
emotional, and there are times that it's okay, to be all these things, but guys that grew up around guys get some traits that are important for guys in future.
Yeah.
For example, when we say how to talk, how to speak with people outside, how to take jabs, how to manage your emotions, how to know. You see, just mostly emotions management for me.
So do you think that's really important in the life of a young chap growing up to be sure that the father or like a very dominant male figure is there to actually help the child to regulate his or his emotions? Do you think that's important?
Yes. Every both male and female, for every person growing, it's important to have if you're a guy, it's important to have a dominant male figure in your life that you look to or that can control things for you. It is also important for a girl to have a female dominant figure and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that is because, to help you create balances on how to grow. But for a guy that doesn't have a dominant male figure, you'd see it in how he acts. You'd see it in how he lashes out. You'd see it in different aspects of his life. That's why, for me, I like a guy that grew up, in
the midst of guys.
Like you said something earlier, that federal teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
If you grew up a guy that went to federal spent his teen years amongst young guys and older guys that shared the same ideologies or had the same family setting as him.
Yeah.
And that does a lot for you.
Yeah. I agree with that. But because of time, we're going to round off now. But I want to ask you one final question, and I would like you to think about this. You have two beautiful daughters right now. Yeah.
Yes.
If you have a son, next, what would you teach your son? What would you teach him, or to be the best brother to your girls? What would you teach him?
I would teach him accountability.
Okay. Instead of gaslighting and manipulating them.
Yes, you must. You see, you must be able to take account. To be accountable for situations that concern you. You must be able to take responsibility of situations.
Yeah.
You must be able to speak, either to share your view or to share how you feel about situations.
Yeah.
You can't be an OES member. You would never be. My son would, even my kids would. I'll always tell them to always have a view, even if it is
that's being passive,
not yours. Yes, you can't. Yes, you have to have a position.
Yeah, you can't sit on the fence now.
No, sitting on the fence in this day and age doesn't work. You can't sit on the fence. You can't just go with the wind. You must decide where the wind pushes you.
Yeah, I agree with that. So you mentioned accountability, being responsible, but how being responsible and taking a stance, but how do you think these three traits would help the boy to become the best brother to your girls?
Okay. You see, if you have siblings, and you see this, I'm sure you have siblings. I know your siblings, so I know you have seen this. See, the older you grow amongst your siblings, you see that everybody would have their life, and their life would intertwine with each other's person's life.
Yeah.
The minute you have a sibling that isn't accountable for his own aspect of his life, based off of your relationship with him, you're going to have to tilt towards to manage the parts he's not accountable for, and that creates a loop in your own part. But if you have a family where, let me give you an example.
Yeah,
you guys have four brothers or five brothers.
Yeah,
and you've all grown. You have your business or your work, and you're all doing that. But you guys have siblings, so there are things in the family that the siblings have to take care of. Yeah. So you people have discussed and say, okay, this person should be handling this handle this, or you people have an event and everybody has what they're handling.
Yeah.
So you see that your personal lives have intertwined with each other's life.
Yeah.
Now, the minute you have one that is not accountable or doesn't understand accountability, yes, what he's supposed to do, he doesn't see the reason to pull his weight to do it. Yeah. So he doesn't see himself being held accountable. But because he's your sibling, and you guys must do that because it relates to your family, it concerns your family.
Yeah.
You have to pull out resources from what you're doing to do what that person is not doing. And that affects what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
As against where you have a family where everyone understands accountability. So when you're having a conversation, even if the person is not being able to pull his weight, he understands he's accountable for it. So he is in front of the situation. So instead of you hearing that he's not doing it, he's telling you that he might not be able to do this. Yeah, and so he helps you arrange, because he's accountable, you're able to plan yourself because he's in front of
plans and, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
About being responsible, there's responsibilities in this day and age. It's a little more is taken away from that word. It's one of the most important things to teach a young person.
Yeah.
To be responsible. It's not. It's not.
There's something I say all the time. I tell my younger brother. You see, responsibility is the life of a man is full of. It's all about responsibilities.
Yes.
You can't run away from it, and accountability is part of it. So, because there's no way. For example, now I know how close you were. I don't know about now. You were with your younger sister. You must be accountable for the part of, let's say you actually promised her you're going to do this for her. If you end up not doing that, be accountable and say, yes, you messed up, you did not do it. But
yes,
some of us, even I am guilty of this sometimes, you tend to be defensive because you don't want the person to get it. But at the point, you tell yourself the truth.
You said you're going to
maybe you don't want to hurt the person's feeling because you know the truth can come off hurtful. You now tell the person, no, it's not like that. But it's actually good to be accountable to the person. Yes, I actually said that I actually forgot this. You see what I mean? It's better for the person, say it with love. The person will understand. Oh, actually, he had this plan. Maybe he forgot. He had a lot of things on his mind, and it's better than turning it around and start gaslighting the person. It's all in your head. Oh no, I never said that. No, life of a man is being accountable and responsible to actually accept responsibilities. You're right. Yeah. So okay, but anyway, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much, Ralu, for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Finally, we get our 30 minutes. Hopefully, we'll get more 30 minutes. Finally.
No problem. I hope you had fun on the podcast anyway.
Yes, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was
hopefully
good.
we'll do another one soon.